Yeah, this is a common question. This is something that I get asked a lot in Scrum Master courses and Product Owner courses. Why don't Scrum teams plan out the contents of their sprints well in advance of sprint planning? So imagine it, you sit down as a team, you look at your backlog and you go, we can do 40 points. Let's just count 40 and say, that's a sprint. Are you likely to do that? I hope so. So that makes sense. Yeah, kind of. But why have we adopted this approach? Why is it that we've gone down the Agile route? It's because of the volatility of our work. It's because of the changeable nature of the problem, of the environment, of the context we're working in. So yeah, we can do that. But what we know is change is coming. Okay? So when I see teams do this, in the middle of the prior sprint, they say this looks like it, and they move it in, and they update Jira or whatever they're using to say it. They're signaling to other people that's what they intend to do. In some organizations, that may be okay because it's an intention, not an explicit statement of commitment. But many organizations, that is now what they're doing. And we've just gone against the problem we're trying to solve for. We've just firmed up way before we need to what we're going to do. And we've reduced the flexibility of our team because come sprint planning, a week's time, say, we're going to go into that meeting. We've already decided what we're going to do. Great. Okay. That's one question. We may well have decided why that's important to us. That's the second question. And we can do the how. Yeah, great. But what we haven't thought about is this the most important thing we could be working on today? Is this what the customer needs now? Not yesterday, not a week ago, today. With what we've learnt through the sprint, in review, as part of our retrospective. Okay? Just the world in general, what has it taught us? We're discarding all of that learning. We're ignoring it. And the pushback is, yeah, but does it change that much? Actually, if you're working in short sprints, no, not really. Okay? Teams do have a good sense, but they want to maintain the flexibility to be able to make changes because every so often that change comes in, and when it does, it changes because it's important. And if they've already locked the work in a sprint ahead, well, now it's got to wait. It's got to wait at least a sprint. And actually what happens when we see teams start this thinking, well, we can do that sprint. We work with bright people. We can do 40 points in that sprint. That 40 points fits in the next sprint, and that 40 points. And suddenly we're mapping out the next 3 months and we're fixing it. And we've just got rid of all of our benefits of flexing, of adapting, of learning. Because when we go into the review and we talk to the stakeholders and they come up with new ideas and they want to change tack for the business, for the product, or the needs are shifting, we can't follow them. We're stuck. If we go into retrospectives and we find new and better ways of doing things, okay, we're going to struggle to bring them into the following sprint, as they may well make sense to. As we go into sprints, we're going to find different ways of delivering the outcomes that we're seeking, but we can't. Because in changing that, we're changing what we're doing, and that moves us away from the plan. And invariably, we fixate on the plan a bit too much. As you can see, by looking ahead, by thinking, oh, well, this fits nicely in here, and this fits nicely in here, we're playing into the comfort blanket that traditional processes really do very well. Okay? But what we're forgetting is we're losing the ability to change our mind because we've learned something new, because we know a better way. So what I would say is have an idea what's coming up in the next sprint. It's the order of the backlog. You're going to know that as part of refinement. Look at it and say, this is the likely stuff. But it's likely, it's not definite. And accept that in sprint planning, you might change your mind. You might find new ways of solving problems that you hadn't thought of once you get into the how. And that's okay. That's what we want. Because in doing that, we can ensure we're working on the most important things. And we're satisfying the need as we see it today. Not yesterday, not a month ago. Today. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.